Hello everyone, I hope you're well. And so welcome to the second and last of my talks on Isaiah chapter 42. Yesterday we set the scene for the second section of Isaiah, and today's passage continues from this. So our reading today, Isaiah chapter 42, verses 10 to 17, again taken from the contemporary English translation of the Bible. Tell the whole world to sing a new song to the Lord. Tell those who sail the ocean and those who live far away to join the praise. Tell the tribes of the desert and everyone in the mountains to celebrate and sing. Let them announce his praises everywhere. The Lord is marching out like an angry soldier, shouting with all his might whilst attacking his enemies. For a long time I, the Lord, have held my temper. Now I will scream and groan like a woman giving birth. I will destroy the mountains and what grows on them. I will dry up rivers and ponds. I will lead the blind on roads they have never known. I will guide them on paths they have never travelled. Their road is dark and rough, but I will give them light to keep them from stumbling. This is my solemn promise. Everyone who worships idols as though they were gods will be terribly ashamed. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Well, highs and lows here. Let's go through the passage. You remember yesterday's passage was one of Isaiah's servant songs, pointing the way so well to Jesus, his coming and his ministry, a ministry of justice, gentleness, freedom, redemption, bringing God's people back to God. Verses 10 to 12 of today's passage continue in praise of the servant, praise for the victory of the servant. The first line, telling people to sing a new song to the Lord, sounds very psalm-like and is found in a number of the Psalms, Psalm 33, 40, 98 and others if you want to have a read later. And it's saying who the Lord is and what he does is so wonderful, so glorious, it has to bring out a new song of praise. And who should sing these praises, this new song? The whole world. Yes, even those on the remotest bits of the world. In those days, those on the oceans, the deserts, the mountains, all should announce his praises. Everyone who's been touched by the work of the servant should sing a new song. And then verses 13 to 17 seem to bring us down from the heights of praise and worship and singing a new song, right down back to the gritty words and warnings about judgment and retribution and the awful consequences that the Lord will bring upon those who worship false gods. It's a passage about the utter zeal of the Lord. He will go forward as a mighty soldier. The days of praise are days of victory for the Lord over all the false gods, because if people are praising the Lord with all they have, then they're not worshipping idols and false gods. The Lord will prevail over all of them, and he'll be really loud while he's doing it. He'll shout and groan like a woman giving birth. Nothing will get in his way. No obstacles like mountains or hills or water. Nothing will get in the way of the Lord's work. And here, I think we can contrast the loudness and anger against all who serve false gods with the gentleness of yesterday's passage as he deals with the people who followed him. And then my favourite verse. I will lead the blind on roads they have never known. I will guide them on paths they have never travelled. Their road is dark and rough, but I will give them light to keep them from stumbling. And this is my solemn promise. Now, it's never a particularly good idea to lift a passage out of context with its neighbours. You need really to read and understand it as it sits with the rest of the verses within the account. But this verse, I think, can and does stand alone and can give us much meaning and comfort. I think this passage speaks of all of life and how God helps us, even us, to navigate through. So a bit of work for you now, and this is where I wish I was a bit more technical and I could screen share with you. Imagine two diagrams, two lines, both of them from A to B. The top diagram, the top line is headed My Plan for My Life, and it's a straight line from A to B, beginning and end, no deviation, no ups or downs, no problems, just straight. My plan for my life. Now imagine the second diagram, the second line, still A to B, beginning and end, but this line doesn't go straight, it goes up and down, up to the heights of joy, down to the depths of sorrow, through rough, wiggly lines, going back and forward, up and down it goes. This is the line of what life throws at us. No one is immune. No one has a straight line from A to B, much as we want to. The ups and downs, the joys, the losses, the wiggly bits, it happens to all of us. Life and its changes happens, and we've no idea when the changes will come, no idea, no certainty what life will throw at us tomorrow. And we all cope differently. Sometimes we roll with it, other times we have no idea what's happening, where life is taking us, what we're doing, how we got to be in this mess, what we're going to do about it, or even who we are. Sounds familiar? Thank you. I knew I wasn't on my own. This passage, Isaiah chapter 42, verse 16, is for all of life, especially the uncertain times, the terrible times, the lost times, those times when we're blindly stumbling along, trying to make the right choices, trying to think the right thoughts, trying to do the right things. Look what it says. God is with us. I will keep them from stumbling along, and I will never leave them. God is with us. Give to him all those rocky bits of your life that are going on at the moment, all those experiences that are holding you back, those feelings, those things that frighten you. Give them to him and let him guide you through. We talked yesterday about God calling us to the right place and to the right people and at the right time. And we've said today that God will lead us through the obstacles and the highs and lows of all that life throws at us. And so I'd like to finish with a short piece of writing by clergyman Edward Everett Hale. I think it sums up the call that God places on us, and then knowing that God is always with us, guiding us, walking with us, then having the conviction and the courage to act on that call, that dream. So Hale writes, I am only one, but still I am one. I can't do everything, but I can still do something. And because I can't do everything, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do. We can all make a difference to this world because we are who we are. We each have a God-given uniqueness. There's only one of us, and we make the most of it. So if you feel discouraged, how many people did it take to rescue the dying man on the Jericho road? One Samaritan. How many people did it take to confront Pharaoh and lead the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt? One man, Moses. God has put a dream inside you. It's yours and no one else's. It declares your uniqueness. It holds your potential. Only you can live it. God says, I will lead you on roads you don't know and haven't travelled on. I will lead you well. I will stop you from stumbling. I'll light the way that you should go. Talk to him and trust him. Amen. God bless you. God says, I will lead you on roads you don't know and haven't travelled on. I will lead you well. I will stop you from stumbling. I'll light the way that you should go. Talk to him and trust him. Amen. God bless you.